Advancing Black Pathways is the firm's strategy to strengthen the economic foundation of the Black community. Byna Elliott recently joined JPMorgan Chase to help lead the program. Byna, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Kim.
Over the last year, the country's had a renewed focus on racial injustice. In your role as the head of Advancing Black Pathways, how do you plan to leverage the strength of the firm to keep making a difference?
Reality is JP Morgan Chase, as the number one financial institution in the country, has enormous power. And you have a chairman like Jamie Dimon, who leads the Business Roundtable and who stood up boldly after the George Floyd tragedy to say, we can do better as a country and we can drive meaningful outcomes for our Latinx and Black communities and customers by harnessing the full force of our firm. So when you think about bringing the full force of JP Morgan Chase to drive meaningful change in communities around housing affordability, access to capital, a diverse supplier base that can provide and create jobs for others, as well as taking care of our employees around their financial well-being and creating access to financial services in all of our communities. So I was not surprised in October when JP Morgan Chase created the largest financial institution commitment of $30 billion.
You play a key role in executing the $30 billion commitment that the firm has to advance racial equity. How do you think a commitment like that can truly make a difference? And how do you measure its impact?
The measurements are pretty easy. It's $30 billion. And really what you want to know is how will that make a difference in people's individual lives? So you think about the 40,000 new homeowners that we've pledged to help connect homeownership opportunity to, or the businesses that we're planning on helping. That's what's more important is the $30 billion translates to meaningful impact in our communities. The one thing that I think is really important is that you have the total firm buy-in. That was what really attracted me to this organization, was knowing that when you as an organization set a goal, you are clear around the accountability metrics and you drive towards those outcomes, and your CEO is leading from the front.
You joined the firm after more than 20 years of community reinvestment experience. What made you want to lead ABP?
So first I want to say I was probably a baby when I started, so that 20 years, because when you say those many years or decades, I'm going, oh my God. But you're right. So I have been at this a long time. And one of the things I was extremely proud of, the body of work that I did to focus on low income communities. But the one thing that was a stark reality that I think we all faced was the tragedy of George Floyd's death. And I had to take a hard look and say, did I do enough? Growing up with a single mom and being raised by my mother and grandmother, I understood how challenging the environment was in some of these communities. And I have a 17-year-old and a 21-year-old. And to have that discussion with them about how their color can impact their trajectory in life is not a good feeling. And it also meant that I had to take a hard look in the mirror and say, what else can you do? I know you've done a lot of things, but what else can you do? It's really been an honor to be able to lead ABP's work around closing the racial equity gap and focusing on things that I know make a difference in people's lives, whether it's affordable housing, access to capital if you're a small business owner, or being able to change the trajectory of your family by increasing your earnings or having a living wage, or if you're graduating from college and having a chance to get your first job. And if you're a first gen student, that first job is sort of the first step on your path to financial stability. And it might be one of the biggest opportunities you have to change your next generation's life and livelihood by having that opportunity.
I'm really glad you brought up students because I know, just one of the successes of ABP in recent years has been the firm's commitment to hire 4,000 Black students by 2024. We've seen things like that. We've seen commitments to historically Black colleges and universities. What's next?
Advancing Black Pathways has had great success when you talk about the currency conversations and being able to educate all of those thousands of women around their financial health, the students that we're able to hire. I'm super excited to share that we've doubled our fellowship program in ABP. If you think about getting a sophomore who's trying to figure out what their career path will be and having a summer spent at JP Morgan Chase, the sky can be the limit. And hopefully, our goal is to make sure that they're available to us as juniors and seniors and as for hiring. Additionally, when you think about the path forward commitment, that $30 billion has to come to life in our communities. And ABP will be partnering with all of the lines of business to drive meaningful outcomes. So we've got significant programming around building a diverse supplier base. Can you imagine a firm getting an opportunity to having a meaningful contract with JP Morgan Chase? How many jobs could be created and opportunities and lives changed around something that's sustainable? It isn't a handout, it's actually a hand up and an opportunity to really scale and create wealth in our communities. It will be tremendous over the next 5 years to be part of the opportunity to make a difference and also to even watch it as a spectator.
Byna, that's a huge book of work that you're about to tackle. And we're so glad that you're here and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks a lot, Kim. I really appreciate it.